Hi there, welcome. I want to walk you through a quick video that I came across. I'm just going to provide some feedback, some comments on it, and keep it short and sweet today. Let's watch this video together. They have their own music, so I'm turning mine down while we watch this.
The quickest way to enlightenment.
Quick is not always safe. But those who want to be quick, they have to prepare themselves to a certain level of talent. At the same time, another dimension of it is, you're only looking for what is within you. Why should it take time? Enlightenment itself doesn't take time. For you to become willing, you may take time. People take a whole lot of time to do that because they're identified with every thought, with every emotion, with just about anything they touch. If you're willing to drop all that right now, it's quick, super quick, it's right now.
Okay. And I'm going to turn back my own music. I want to break down what he just mentioned there. I want to break down a couple of things. First of all, there is an implication. I want to talk quickly about questions, about the importance of questions. I want to talk about different types of questions. Then I want to talk about the question that this gentleman asked. And then I want to talk a little bit about the answer that was provided. A little bit of history about questions. I, in a previous life, worked as a 911 operator for over 10 years. And so I asked questions for a living. And not only did I ask questions for a living, but then I also was a witness for the state. And so I was deposed often. I would go to court very frequently. And I learned very quickly in that career that you have to be very careful what kinds of questions you ask, how you ask them, and then you have to be fully prepared to answer why you ask the question. Because questions can assign blame, they can assign guilt, and there can be false questions, there can be trapping questions, there can be insincere questions, there can be very harmful questions. And so the question that he asked was very revealing because of what it implied, and I'm going to break that down a little bit. And when I'm talking about questions, there are open-ended questions, there are closed-ended questions. So for example, an open-ended question would be, why is the light on? Where it invokes a response of explanation. Whereas the closed-ended question would be, is the light on? And that's binary in response, yes or no, 1 or 0. It's either activated or deactivated. So those kinds of questions are important to understand. So he didn't ask a closed-ended question, right? He didn't ask a binary response question, yes or no, 1 or 0. He asked a question that required explanation. Now here's another interesting question, and I was watching CNN actually. No, I wasn't either. I was watching, anyway, guess it doesn't matter what I was watching. But I was watching this interview, and they were interviewing a politician, and just as he went to use this example, they edited the video, and I'm going to have to look around and see if I can find it. But here's the example that's given to law school students. And it's also in law enforcement, this one is provided. So if I were to ask you, when did you stop beating your wife? That assigns blame, because first, it implies you ever started. And that's why you need counsel in court, because the opposing counsel can ask a question to a witness in that way that assigns guilt. And so that in the minds of the jury, they believe he ever started. And then that's where the other attorney would say, objection, you're leading the witness, objection, you're implying guilt or whatever, and they can object to the question. Because there are questions that can damage reputation just by asking it. So not all questions are sincere, not all questions are genuine, and not all questions are actually trying to get to any root of anything. So that's the difference between types of questions and a little bit of background about questions. Now, let's analyze sort of the question that this gentleman asked. And I'm almost tempted to come back and replay it. Let me share my screen. Here, it's just typed on the screen there. So he asks, what is the quickest way to enlightenment? So that's the question. Now I want to sort of break this down. That it says the quickest way implies that there is a quickest way. It's making an assumption that there's a slow way and that there's a quick way. So the fact that he's saying, what is the quickest way to enlightenment? Okay. It puts the onus of the delivery of the concept enlightenment on the guru, on the teacher. So say if you walk into, you're going to take swimming lessons and you walk to the pool and there's the swimming instructor and you say to the swimming instructor, what is the quickest way to learn how to swim while I'm standing on the side of the pool? Okay, it's a false question because it's implying that you can learn how to swim while standing on the side of the pool. So now you're in a quandary. Now you're in a bit of a problem. You're asking questions that aren't real questions. They're not authentic questions. They're not questions that can actually be answered. It's kind of like this one. What is the fastest way I could become a virgin porn star? Like the question itself is false. It's ridiculous. Because in order for you to become a porn star, you have to surrender that virginity. You have to give something to get something, right? And so the question then puts it on to the other person as though it's their responsibility to keep you a virgin while you become a porn star. It's the swimming instructor's responsibility to teach you how to swim while you stand on the side of the pool. So the question itself isn't really seeking an answer. It's delivering more of a problem to the person who's trying to even answer it to begin with. He did a great job in answering the question, but he didn't really attack the root of the question itself. He just provided a pretty simple-minded response. And so here's what the swimming instructor would say to the student who is there to learn how to swim. They would say, what gives you the idea that you can learn how to swim while standing on the side of the pool? Right? Answer a question with a question. What this guru does is he says, it's up to you. So he kind of, because the guy assigned the responsibility to the person who was being asked the question. And then the person who was asked the question just assigned the responsibility back to him. And he said, I don't know, how fast can you learn how to swim from standing on the side of the pool? Right? What he said was, you have to let go of everything that you're holding on to. So in order for you to learn how to swim, you have to let go of the side of the pool. You have to stop standing on the side of the pool and stop touching the side of the pool. You can't be attached to the side of the pool if you're going to learn how to swim. You can't be attached to your virginity if you want to become this porn star, right? You have to get something through giving something. You can't be an enlightened or an awakened ego. You have to surrender that for your awakening. So there's a give and a take here, right? And that's what he's talking about. If you're going on this path to enlightenment, if you're on this path to awakening, you have to understand, first of all, that you have to shed all your suffering, and you have to shed all of your attachment to that suffering. You have to shed your identity, so your ego. You have to shed attachments and anything that you're clinging on to, because that's the side of the pool. So if you want to fall into deep water, you have to just fall in. So that's what he's discussing here. He can't tell you how fast you can learn how to swim because you're the one who makes the choice to stop holding on to the side of the pool. So I hope that this provided just a little bit of depth and backdrop to this. It's just a very quick video. And the guy who's asking it, I don't think is a very deep fellow. It's such a superficial question that I don't even think he really understands what he's even asking here. And then when the gentleman provided the response, the guru provides this response, I don't think he even got that either. And so none of this is about speed. All of this is about you. You're being held away from your awakening because you're holding yourself away from it. So if you want to wake up, it's up to you on how fast you'd like to do that. I'm going to keep posting more videos like this. I hope that this was of some value for you. I'm grateful that you stopped by today. And so until we meet again, or until the next video, I hope you like, share, and subscribe. We're definitely trying to get ourselves up to more subscribers than we've got now. If we can get up to at least 50 subscribers, I'm going to start doing a lot of mobile live streams from the beach. I'm going to be doing yoga on the beach and stuff. So if you're interested in any of that and coming and hanging out on the beach with me and my service dog Roxy, I'd love to see you guys there. So until next time, take care of yourself and love without delay.